Hi guys, I am finally back with my question and answer video and then also my giveaway. So my past 3 videos I have reminded people to submit questions for my 4-year Surgiversary giveaway. And for those of you who did, you are so lucky because I don't have very many names. So you have a very, very good chance of actually winning my giveaway. I always liked doing it the old-fashioned way with paper, so these are my names. And so like I said in my last video, that the people who gave me questions when I originally asked for questions, their names are in here twice. But then for the people who submitted questions later, their name is only in here once. And so that's why it probably actually looks like there's a decent number, but there are not many people here at all. So we're going to wait a little bit before I draw names. First, I'm going to start off with some of the questions just to make you keep watching. And then in the middle, I will take a break and go ahead and do the giveaway. So also, first of all, before I get to the question and answers, I have been very behind and lax in watching YouTube videos. So for those of you who still do videos, and I usually comment on your videos, I am behind a lot, and it is my goal to catch up again over the next few weeks. So I will be watching your videos and I will be commenting on your videos. So let's get started. I'm not going to call out the names of the people who submitted these questions. I'm just going to read off the questions. So, question number 1. What books would you recommend to someone looking to make lasting changes in their life? So yeah, I love to read. I used to read a lot of books, and now I actually listen to a lot of audiobooks. And so this is a really good question, and I probably could go on and on with lists of books, but since this is a bariatric channel, I have found the thing is that if you want to make lasting changes in your life, which is what the question says, you have to change what it is that you do every day. And you have to actually also find a way to try to change what your thoughts and what you're thinking and your habits. Only by changing those things can you make very lasting changes. And so I have read several books over the past couple of years that had to do with habits and changing them that I do believe have been significant things for helping me in my life. And so I wrote those down really quickly. The most recent book that I have read is Atomic Habits. Very good book. I will put the names of all these things in the description box below. But then actually before that, I read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Covey. That is a very, very good book. It was written a long time ago. It's a little bit harder to get through, but I have found that book very effective. And then another habits book that I read that I really liked was The Power of Habit, Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business. So like I said, I will put descriptions of all 3 of those books in the box below. But then also I have to admit that intermittent fasting, so I haven't been really intermittent fasting lately, but when I do it, it is very effective in terms of weight loss. And so I would say that any of the books by Fung on intermittent fasting, very eye-opening and life-changing. I mean, I got down to my lowest weight after surgery, after implementing intermittent fasting. So Fung's books. And actually in terms of my personal life, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, that book. I think you really have to be in the right headspace and the right mood to read it. I started and stopped it many times in the past, but then once I finally got through it, I actually have read it many times. I love that book, The Power of Now. Okay, let's see. Next question. What advice would you give to someone on how to get back on track? I need that advice right now. And this actually also probably ties into some other questions that I'm going to have. But the thing is that I think it's always important to remember why you're doing all of these things in the first place. If you're a VSG person, why did you have the weight loss surgery? What things had you gone through in the past? And so for me, I just constantly think about how I was before I had the surgery, how miserable I was when I was over 300 pounds. And when I see that I'm getting off track, when my weight is going up, I think about all of those times. I think about my channel because I don't want to come back and say, well, I regained all of my weight. Even though, yes, maybe sometimes life circumstances might happen that cause people to do that. But for me, one of the ways to get back on track is to remember why this is important to you in the first place. What reasons do you have for being on track, for maintaining your weight? And then if she's talking about specifically how to get back on track, really going back to the basics, weighing things, measuring things, tracking things, there's no substitute for doing that, I think. Let's see, next question. Do you feel like eating in moderation was a detriment to your overall weight loss? What would you do differently if... I can't even read my own head right. What would you do differently if you had a choice? So, now that I'm 4 years out from surgery, and I do talk a lot in my videos of how I always did things in moderation. And yeah, I do think that doing things in moderation was a detriment to my overall weight loss. But the thing is that I have never felt that your overall weight loss is important. What difference does it make if you're very strict and you get down to 130 pounds? I only say that because I'm 5'3" and I probably am supposed to weigh 130 pounds. But what difference does it make if you get down to 130 pounds if you can't maintain it? If you can't stay there, then what is the point of that? So, yes, eating in moderation has kept my weight up at a higher level than it would be if I had been more strict. But I would not do anything differently, actually, no. The only thing that I would do differently is to continue to eat in moderation. So that has always been my motto. I'm not saying that I've always done that. Many times, including currently maybe, I've gone off the rails. So I haven't always been eating in moderation. So the only thing I would do differently is to stay in moderation and not go off the rails. But in terms of whether I regret that I wasn't more strict so that I could have lost more weight, no, I don't regret that at all. Okay, what do you do to relax that is not weight loss related? So I do like to read, so reading does relax me. I love going to the casino, so sitting at a slot machine with a glass of champagne, I find that very relaxing, so that is something I like to do. I love to travel. And I like to take walks. Walking my dog every morning relaxes me a lot. And even though now I'm trying to, I do a lot of step bets. I know this is bariatric related with the step bets. I'm trying to, I think physical activity is important, and what you need to do is find things that you enjoy doing and that you're comfortable doing, And I like walking. So sometimes I just walk for relaxation and I love it. But then the other thing about that is that you can turn walking into an exercise and into something that helps you lose weight or maintain your weight. So, I'm fortunate that I do actually enjoy walks for both reasons, for relaxation and bariatric wise. I also enjoy traveling that's relaxing. And I do love my wine and my champagne, so I admit those are... Okay guys, I'm back. I don't know why my camera stopped recording, so I hope when I look back that I actually have the complete answer to my last question. But I've decided this is probably a good time for me to go ahead and stop and do my drawing. So I can't see the names. The first person's name that I draw will get a $25 gift card. The second person's name will get a $15 gift card. So let's see, I'm not looking, here's one. Who gets the $25 gift card? Oh shoot, I can't flip this around. VSG to RN Roy Sia Ray. I probably left some letters out of your name, but I know who you are. I left some letters out of your name, I believe. So you are the winner of my $25 gift card. And then let's see who gets the $15. Oh, Dory's VSG Journey. I definitely know who you are. So you're going to get my the $15 Amazon gift card. So I'm going to put my email address in the description box. And all you have to do is email me and then tell me the email address that you want the gift card to go to, and I will send those off. Okay, let's move on with the questions. Let's see, after all the yo-yo dieting, what is the best one you found works the best for you? And what diets do you feel give you the best results? So for me, low carb is always the best for me. And for me, with all of the yo-yo dieting, I have found that in general, if I stick to 50 net carbs or less on a consistent basis, that is what works for me. The thing is that, I do like carbs. I like bread. I like pasta. I like all these different things. So it's hard for me to stay faithful and consistent. But the thing I like about 50 net carbs, it's not so restrictive. You still can have some of these things. So as long as I'm sticking to that, which I admit I struggle with sometimes, although most of the time it's not that hard. I think that is the best diet lifetime strategy for me, is 50 net carbs. What are your best tips for overcoming a stall or weight loss plateau? So I think really to change things up. So if you, first of all, make sure that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. Oftentimes people aren't tracking, so you might think that you're eating something differently than what you're really eating. If you're doing low carb, if you're not actually weighing and measuring and tracking, you might not be eating as low as you think that you are. Getting back to basics can be very effective, and tracking, like I said, is always effective. But if you already know that you're doing all the things that you think that you're supposed to be doing, the funny thing is that I have found that for me, oftentimes if I stall and I know that I'm doing everything perfectly, then that actually means that it's time to maybe change things up, like increasing my calories drastically, or increasing my carbs, or having a cheat day. Sometimes those things can shake your body up. So, but I only recommend those if you've already, so like say for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, you've been absolutely perfect. If you've been perfect and yet your weight is not going down, then usually that means that maybe it's time to bump things up. Most of the time people want to bump things down. They want to eat even fewer calories. They want to eat even fewer carbs. And what I have found is that it's usually the opposite that you need to do. Almost every time I've ever had to break a stall and it worked was me increasing my calories. But like I said, that's only if you already were consistently and faithfully, say if you're doing low calories and you're doing low carbs. But the point is that everyone's body is also different. So whatever it is that you're doing to change it up and do the opposite for just a few days and see what happens. Oftentimes your body will respond. What do you say to yourself to stay motivated? Well, yes. It is often hard. I say to myself to remember the reason why I had this surgery in the first place, or to remember how miserable I felt when I was over 300 pounds, or even like 280 pounds. How bad did I feel, and actually I forgot, all the times that I lost weight and regained all of my weight. I say to myself that you don't want to go back there again. You don't want to repeat that again. And I remind myself that I promised myself after I had VSG that I would not allow myself to regain all of my weight again. So that's what I say to myself, because I'm not motivated every single day, but I try not to let too long of a period go by with me being off plan and off track. Because I don't want to go back to where I was before. How is your job going? How has your tummy been feeling? So yeah, in the past I've talked a lot about my job being very stressful, very, very long hours. That has actually improved a lot. It is for the better. I now actually work consistent 40-hour week. Amazing. That is the first time in like 5 years or so that I'm finally back to working a consistent 40-hour week. It might be slightly more stressful, but at least I'm not working long hours. And then in terms of my tummy, I have it under control in general, as long as I stick to the things I know that I should be eating. So still, sometimes it's still, what's the word? It's still trial and error. I still don't know the things that I can tolerate, and so sometimes I will accidentally try something and it really messes up my tummy, but everything is much better. So I'll just say that I'm on the mend, things are much better, and it's just every day trying to figure out what things I can eat and what things I can tolerate. What websites are you using to walk and run to earn your medals? So if you watch some of my previous videos, I show some of the, every month I'm trying to do at least one virtual 5K. And so I use these different sites where the money goes towards charity, and they also have beautiful medals and sometimes t-shirts and jackets and things like that. And so I've talked about those in some of my previous videos, but also in the comments below, I will show you 3 websites that I have used more than once, many different times, to get some of the beautiful medals that I have. So there we go. Not a ton of questions, but I did take forever to get back to you guys, so sorry about that. And thanks for watching, and congratulations to my 2 winners. Bye.